me here to this wonderful gathering. It's always wonderful to meet members of sort of the engineering community and especially the Malayali community. Robin had approached me when we met to come and give a talk to this organization, and he mentioned it would be nice to have a talk on pretty much anything, your experiences growing up, how you got into the computer science field, specifically academia. And I kind of mentioned not many people are necessarily aware of contributions in computer science, specifically from Malayalis. So that's why I thought it would be nice to sort of maybe have a mini lecture, so to speak, maybe 10-15 minutes, to maybe introduce you to a few names where I myself was fairly surprised that we had such eminent computer scientists from Kerala, in fact. So that's the plan. If you can go to the next slide. Before we begin, I kind of want to tell a little bit about myself. Now, sadly, the resolution is not so great, so maybe I'll kind of use the opportunity to kind of describe myself. So I am an assistant professor of computer science at the University of Chicago. I did my Ph.D. at the University of Chicago and completed my Ph.D. in 2023. But actually, I did I was actually born and raised in Qatar. I finished my 12th there, and then I did my bachelor's in computer science under the University of Carnegie. So I actually studied in Kerala. I finished my B.Tech in 2007, computer science. I went to IIIT-Hyderabad for my master's in computer science, so that's where I worked on graphics processing, general purpose computation on graphics processors. I worked for a little bit back in Qatar. I worked for Carnegie Mellon's campus in Qatar before coming to Pittsburgh in 2014 to do a master's at Carnegie Mellon, followed by a PhD here at the University of Chicago. And right now I teach at the University of Chicago, mostly undergraduate and graduate students. My focus is on databases. So if you ever have any sort of burning questions or require any help or assistance from the research side in database technologies, please let us know. All right. So the motivation for today's talk was actually kind of interesting. If we could go to the next slide. So in 2016, I took a distributed systems class at Carnegie Mellon. So quick show of hands, how many people here are related to computer science, to software engineering, software systems? Wonderful. Okay. So quite a bit of the audience is computer related, right? So I took a distributed systems class at CMU, where one of our assignments was to read a specific paper. The paper that I had to read, next slide, is called Distributed Snapshots, Determining Global States of Distributed Systems. It was kind of interesting, you can't see it on the slide, but the author of this paper, the name of the person who wrote this paper was K. Mani Chandi. And I was like, okay, wait a second, I've never, this has to be something interesting. My lecturer my professor kept mentioning this as the Chandy-Lamport algorithm in distributed systems. Like, wait, this, I have to know more about this person, right? So then I went ahead and I Googled back then, go to the next slide. Because it's an interesting name, right? Chandy. This has to be something that we know about, right? So I just went ahead and I go next slide here. Of course, it has to be Malayali, right? With a name like that, it has to be Malayali. So I was, any sort of show of hands, people who know about the Chandy-Lamport algorithm, anybody working in distributed systems? No? Okay, wonderful. This is a classical algorithm in distributed systems. It's very important. It's actually the cornerstone of a lot of modern computer systems, that, especially in cloud computing. This is an important algorithm that actually makes sort of resilient, fault-tolerant systems possible in clouds. I was like, okay, so now I need to know more, right? Like there are, what is their story? How did they come to the US? How did they become academics? How did they become famous in computer science, right? So we can go to the next slide. I wanted to know more about this, right? Like who are the other people who might be sort of related? So obviously, like everybody else these days, I go on ChatGPT. I was like, I'll try to read the prompt. Who are the most prominent computer science academics who originated or were born from or have ethnic lineage that can be traced back to Kerala? And I hit enter, ChatGPT did its thing. It gave me maybe 10, 15 names, of which maybe 2 were Malayalis. ChatGPT did not have a good idea of what makes a Malayali versus what doesn't. So I was like, oh no, I have to actually do my own research now. I have to actually go in and to find out, okay, of these people, which of these people are Malayalis, for example. So I present to you 4 people that I have found. All 4 are eminent computer science researchers, academics who have Malayali origins. Many have very amazing stories of their arrival in the US, and the contributions that are made are extremely significant. Right? So, if we can go to the next slide. K. Manichandi was born in 1944 in Kottayam. He did his B.Tech in IIT Madras in 1965. He came to the US shortly after, did a master's at NYU, followed by a Ph.D. at MIT. He's been a professor at Caltech since 1989. He taught at UT Austin before that. So he is a major figure in distributed systems and wrote a lot of theory behind how distributed systems need to operate. Next slide. So again, I'll send an email out, or I'll throw Robin. I can send slides for people who are interested. I had QR codes on the slides if anybody wanted to snap a picture to learn more. I don't want to get into a long lecture about some of his contributions, but he has a algorithm that he wrote with Leslie Lamport for distributed snapshotting. This is called the Shandy-Lamport algorithm. There is an entire class of queues. So there is a mathematical field called queuing theory, in which there is a type of queue which is also named after him. BCMP queues, the C in BCMP is Shandy. He is a member of National Academy of Engineering. He's a fellow of the ACM of IEEE, and he has received multiple awards from IEEE. So he's a very preeminent computer science academician. Right? So he's the first one that I found out. He was a stalwart of CS academics, and actually contributed a lot of lectures, a lot of knowledge in this field. Go to the next slide. Then I wanted to find out who are some of the oldest people in this. So we have Thomas Kaila, who was born in Pune, India, but he was actually born to Malayali parents. He has, I think, Syrian Christian lineage. Right? He did his bachelor's in 1956 at the University of Pune, and came to MIT and did his master's in 1959, followed by a doctorate in 1961. He has mentored over 100 PhD and postdoctoral students. So he is probably the most senior among CS academics, and he's been a professor of engineering at Stanford since 1963. So he's also a major figure in computer science, and his contributions are mainly in control theory and signal processing. He had the benefit, if you go to the next slide, he had the benefit of spending time with Claude Shannon, the father of modern information theory at MIT when he was studying there. He actually wrote one of the main textbooks for signal processing called Linear Systems, and he's also worked in design of VLSI chips, linear systems, linear estimation. Barack Obama gave him the National Medal of Science in 2012. He also has the Padma Bhushan in 2009. So he's a major figure in computer engineering. He's a fellow of the Royal Society and so on. Right? Next, we have Alex Bolton. He was born in Munnar. I'm not sure. I didn't get a date of his birth necessarily. He did his B.Tech at IIT Delhi and MS in chemistry, followed by a PhD in Cornell, and he's been a professor at Purdue since 2008. His contributions on combinatorial scientific computing, I don't want to get into a lot of technical details, but he was able to apply graph theory to do computations on matrices, specifically with applications for robot control. he actually, his work on finding a connection between graph theory and working with sort of what are called Jacobian or Hessian matrices, he actually won the George Collier Prize from CIAM, and he's also a fellow of CIAM, ACM, and then finally we have Sri K. Nag. He was born in Bangalore to Malayali parents. He's actually the grandson of the second Chief Minister of Kerala. His grandson did his Bachelor of Engineering with Mesra, went to NC State for his Masters, and then did a Ph.D. at one of my alma mater institutions, which is Carnegie Mellon. He is a professor at Columbia University and was also the Director of Research for Snap, the company behind Snapchat as well. So his contributions are in computer vision. Specifically, he's worked in computational photography. So in fact, one of the main features of computational photography. You can go to the next slide. So he did novel camera designs, computational photography, computational imaging. He's also probably the inventor of one of the first sort of 360-degree cameras that are now used for security purposes as well as other things. Again, extremely distinguished person. I just wanted to use this sort of venue to kind of highlight the fact that there is a strong lineage of Malayali participation in CS academics, which has been completely sort of unexplored. Because the Google search did not necessarily yield these results, kind of had to manually dig in to find these people. And it's always good to sort of know that, right? Like the fact that there are these amazing people who have contributed so much to this field, the field that everybody's involved in this organization. So, a very short presentation. I just wanted to sort of highlight 4 names that would be useful for people to sort of learn more about. If you'd like to talk more about sort of these people or myself and kind of the work that I do at Chicago, please reach out to me. You can also visit my website, which is suhailrehman.com, if you would like to learn more about my work. But again, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk to you and provide me.
Thank you, Dr. Suhail. I would like to open